Hello and welcome to a beautiful sunny but extremely blustery day here in beautiful Nova Scotia. Welcome to my channel, The Optimistic Gardener. My name is Steve Farley and welcome to weekend 3 of the Beginner's Guide to Growing Your Own Veg. Now, it's March the 21st and things are starting to get a bit hairy outside, aren't they? With this COVID-19, coronavirus, whatever you want to call it. Some scary times outside. So, I mentioned this on my introduction video that it's ever more important to be able to sustain yourself with your own fresh veg. And as these news reports of the scale of in the different countries, in my home country of UK, they're near enough in virtual lockdown now. You guys in the States, hoping you're staying safe, but California, New York, lockdown, and you're not going to get much chance to get out, and obviously you're going to be able to buy food, etc. But I can foresee going through the next few months where there's going to be difficulty with food, difficulty getting the food out distributed. So, like I keep saying, it's ever more important that we provide for ourselves, if we can, as much as possible, some fresh veg. And we've been starting that process. I've introduced you to the simple steps. It's raining inside my greenhouse. I've introduced you to, the simple steps. I feel that the 4 steps that I feel that you have to think about when you're a new grower of veg. What you want to eat, which will come to what you want to grow. What materials you're going to use, where you're going to grow your stuff, and water. And last weekend I announced, with the help of you guys that have already been watching these videos, I've got a book here and that's getting a bit wet as well. Got a lot of condensation obviously on the inside of the greenhouse. But last week, with the help of you guys that have already watched this video, we chose the veg that we were going to grow this coming season, or try to grow, hopefully grow. And they were, what were they? There were things like peas, climbing beans, bush beans, potatoes, lettuce, carrots, spring onions, or green onions, or whatever onions you want to call them, normal big fat onions, bush beans I've mentioned, radishes, even though I don't like radishes, they're quick growing, a nice easy crop to grow. Squash, we said. One thing I did forget, courgettes, or zucchini as you North Americans call them. We're going to grow then, and I didn't mention herbs. So, love basil, got to have loads of basil in the summer for your pesto and all that sort of stuff. Parsley, thyme, dill, coriander, or cilantro as you North Americans call it. Gonna grow that as well. And even though I've said I'm going to use this one bed, it's a 4x6 bed, and you can choose whatever bed you want to. And this weekend we're going to be making some beds as part of the what materials you're going to use to grow your veg. I'm going to show you how to make a raised bed out of your normal sort of sawn timber that you buy from the hardware store, and I'm going to show you how to make a raised bed out of pallets. Now, before you all get on the comments line and talking to me about pallets and how they're dangerous, etc., etc., I use heat treated or kiln dried, and I'll talk all about this in the actual video I'm making the pallets. But I use pallets that are essentially not treated with chemicals, so they're okay to grow food. So that's that. And I've also decided that what this video is going to be we're going to split our weeks into weeks. So we had week 1, we had week 2, this is now the update for weekend or week 3. And I'm going to do this video every single week, telling you what I'm going to be doing over the next weekend. So this weekend I'm going to be planting onions, or sowing onion seeds rather, indoors again, both spring onions and your normal onions. I'm going to be sowing herbs. So in a minute I'm just going to film myself sowing all the different herbs that I plan on us growing this year. And then I'm going to do, I would have done today, the actual how to make a raised bed video, but I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow for that now because it's too windy and gets really noisy on the mic, etc. So today, going back to what we're growing, here's a look at the sort of layout of the bed. So if we're thinking the top end is north, then that's the side I'm going to have peas, because they're going to grow high and you don't want them blocking out. If they were on the southern side of the bed, they would be blocking out the sun potentially to the other plants in there. So I'm going to have them on the north side, and then on the outsides up that north side I'm going to grow climbing beans on some archways that we'll create. And then thinking about this complementary planting, which is another whole story that I'll go into at some other point. I'll have potatoes next to the peas because they're supposed to be good friends, and then some bush beans, then I'll some lettuce, carrots, spring onions and onions. So carrots and onions are mates, and we'll have some radishes down that end. And then interspersed in between all of that, we're going to have some flowers and the herbs. And then I was racking my brains and I was thinking that actually, you know, there's not a lot of room there, and I was going to have to put all these pots in there, but you don't actually have to have the pots in the same place as you have that bed. So we're going to have a load of pots, and we'll come to that at another point, where we're going to grow some of the other veg. You know, you can, if you've got a big enough pot, you can even grow potatoes, all sorts of things in there really. So we'll look at that as well. So that is this weekend, basically sowing onions, sowing herbs, and making raised beds, and showing you what I put in to the raised beds, etc. With regard to, you know, compost and manure and all the stuff I use and what you can use. So that is this weekend. I would suggest that you think about getting all of those seeds that you that we're thinking of growing this year very soon, because again, with this lockdown, you know, our hardware store is going to be open. I don't know, but prior preparation, again, as I normally say, prevents piss poor performance. So if you get out there and get your seeds, they're not expensive. You know, $20 you can get all of the seeds worth that you need for the season. So look at the list that we I've put up. Get those seeds, and even if, you know, I'm doing all this indoor planting, even if you haven't got room for the indoor planting, everything bar tomatoes and peppers you can grow outside. You can start from seed outside, and the tomatoes and peppers should be available soon in little plugs, so you can buy those as little plugs, little plug plants. But everything else, if you can't do it indoors, we'll do it outdoors, no worries. And I'm going to split the beds so that we have say peas that I've grown from seed indoors and peas that I'm going to direct plant, and we'll see how they work and how much difference things make from planting inside and outside. But stick with me and I'll have you eating lots of nice fresh veg, even though you're not really going to be able to get to the shop. And it's I laugh, and I know it's no laughing matter, but being a sailor for 25 years, we're used to sort of dark times, and you've got to keep your chin up. And everybody out there, no matter what situation you're in now, it's going to get better. And keeping yourself busy with growing yourself some lovely fresh veg is going to take your mind off these dark times. Even if it's just for 10-15 minutes at a time, it's worth it. Gets you out in the sunshine, communing with your plants, even if you can't commune with anybody else. So stay tuned for the next couple of videos over this weekend, and this week I'm probably going to whack out a video a day. So stay tuned for that, and if you're a new person to my videos, don't forget to subscribe, and from a selfish point of view, don't forget to click the like button if you like this or my series of videos, and don't forget, keep those comments coming, and questions, anything you have, keep those comments coming, because I love answering them. And again, that's another way for us to keep communicating together in these dark times. But the sun is shining, the plants are growing, so it can't be all bad.